And I'm going to put it on YouTube at the end of the class. So if anybody wants to, go over the, things that were said once again, you can just type in my name, Barbara Bro, and you'll see a listing of all of my classes there on YouTube. So every week I put them on YouTube. So there's a whole lot of classes and a whole lot of discussions. So every week I just, I think about different things that I want to talk about. And this particular class, I kind of just wanted to have a little bit of fun. And because of the fact that most people that are on this call have been using essential oils, have some understanding of essential oils, know somebody who's using essential oils, and have benefited from essential oils. So what I did was I wanted to put together a class with just the regular person, the everyday use of essential oils. So how do we just use essential oils in our everyday life? That's what we want to talk about today. Hang on one second. Let me go ahead and mute. I'm getting more people coming into class, so let me go ahead and mute everybody. Background noise is a huge distraction for myself. So anyway, like I say, welcome to everybody that's here. I am a wellness advocate for Doterra. I teach health and wellness. I teach about essential oils. I teach about supplements. I teach about healthy eating, exercise. Health is not just one thing. Health is a combination. And it's not just a healthy body, but it's a healthy mind. And really, I believe that a healthy mind is one of the most important things that we can seek for, because we can be as healthy as could be, from our head down. Our heart could be strong, our lungs could be clear, our muscles could be strong. We could, have all the unwanted body fat just gone. So we could be very healthy from our neck down, but mental health is very, very important. And it's actually something that's not really, it's not given a lot of attention as it should. So we're going to talk a little bit about mental health and just some different strategies that are very, very good, very effective, and very easy. All right. So, but before I go into it, I want to just explain that unlike essential oils, excuse me, unlike essential oils that you might find in a grocery store or in a health food store or on Amazon, Doterra essential oils can be used in 4 different ways. All right. And one of them is something that you're not going to find with the essential oils that you find commonly, at the stores. You can ingest Doterra's essential oils. Now, there are a few oils that should never be ingested. Okay, maybe some of the hardwood oils. There are some oils, and it will say right on the side of the bottle for external use only. However, most of essential oils by Doterra are encouraged to be ingested. They're encouraged to be taken internally. So if you grab a bottle of lemon oil, which is one of the most popular oils, if you grab a bottle of lemon oil from the grocery store and you turn it around on its side, which I did yesterday, you turn it around on its side and it literally says for external use only, we know that we have a problem. Because if you can take a lemon and you can cut it and you can eat it, you can eat that entire thing, you can zest it, you can put all the different parts of the lemon, excuse me, in our bodies or in your body, but yet you would go to an essential oil and you turn it over and it says for external use only, not for internal use. There's a problem. All right. So Doterra's essential oils are good to be used internally. And it will say on the side of the bottle, it'll say supplement facts, which is telling you right there that it's good to take internally. All right. And we can talk about that. And as a matter of fact, there's actually videos on my YouTube that actually go into that in detail. But for today, we're gonna focus on just the everyday use of essential oils. So essential oils can be diffused. You can put them in a diffuser. You can inhale them directly from the bottle, or put a couple drops in your hands, rub them together, cup it over your nose and your mouth, and take some deep inhalation. Very, very good. Breathe oil is very good for that. Opens up your sinuses, opens up your lungs. It's good for people who snore. It's good for people who have sleep apnea. That would be breathe oil. You can also take the oils, you can mix them with a little bit of water, and you can spray them on your rugs, on your clothing, on your furniture. And boy, I'll tell you, does it smell wonderful. And we're going to talk a little bit about some household uses of some of the oils here in just a minute. And then also the oils can be used topically. And that's a very popular way. It's the way that I absolutely love. I put them on my face. I put them on my neck. I put them on my lymphatic. So you've got a lymphatic system that runs straight down your trunk, under your arms. And what it is, it's the system in your body that literally takes care of any kind of viruses, invasions of bacteria. And it's what constitutes the white blood cells, which white blood cells are, it's a vast array of particular different types of cells, lymphocytes and eosinophils, and there's just a whole lot of them. And each one of them has a different purpose. And that's where they reside. And they literally, it's really amazing how this system works. They literally can come out of our lymphatic system, because the lymphatic system is very, it's open. And it's like there's like gates and ways that these different cells can actually come out and go into our body tissues, where they actually do their wonderful work that God has created them to do. And that's to take care of pathogens, whether they be viruses, whether they be bacteria, whatever it is that is unwanted in our bodies, the lymphatic system is there to take care of it. So it's a very interesting system, and topical application is a very good way, as well as ingesting, to get the oils into that lymphatic system. Very, very important system. All right. So, okay, let's go ahead. We'll just keep on going. There was something that I wanted to say on that slide and I forgot, but as I remember, I'll just bring it in there. So I wanted to start this class, and I wanted to talk about emotional health. And what kind of got me thinking about this was I was talking to my daughter, and we were talking about, mental health, and, just how important, it is for, just to consider, our emotions at any given time. God has given us this wonderful limbic system in our brain for very good reason. And I mean, even just giving birth to a baby it's hormone driven. It's an incredible series of it's a cycle, right? Something gets released, contractions start, things move in the direction, more hormones get released, and it keeps on going. And that's actually just unbelievably incredible. And so we were talking a little bit about, the limbic system and emotional and mental health. And so I wanted to talk just a little bit about it. So there are, if I can get my screen to advance, there we go. So there are oils that actually are very, very good for uplifting. If we feel that we're in, maybe a sad time, or maybe we're, I know we talk about, the baby blues and things like that. There are actual oils that can actually help because they act directly on the limbic system. And this is the reason that I said at the beginning of this class, if you do not have a diffuser in your home, that is something that I encourage you to get. There should be a diffuser going in your home, on your nightstand, in your main living area. I have one in my kitchen. I have one in my living room. I have one in my bedroom. And I have a lot of fun. I have a lot of fun putting different oils in there you know, because they're just different smells. You know, like at nighttime, I diffuse. During the day, I diffuse uplifting as well as cleansing. So anyway, here's some of the uplifting oils. You have wild orange. It inspires feelings of energy and spontaneity, joy, abundance. It's a very cheerful oil. Citrus bliss is perhaps one of my favorite smells in doTERRA's oils. Matter of fact, I used to use citrus bliss as perfume. Now I've been actually using In Tune ever since Frances told me of how wonderful it is, and she is so right. So I have my little roll-on of In Tune, and it does just as it says. It puts you in tune, right? In tune with your day. doTERRA Cheer, which is very, very cheerful. And anyway, there's so much that could be said about doTERRA Cheer. There's elevation. And then there's doTERRA Motivate. And then on the flip side, there are those calming oils. So when you want to, you know, when you want to bring yourself down and just calm yourself, calm your mind, you know, sometimes I know for myself, my mind could be my worst. It's my best asset. It can also be my worst enemy, you know, just because sometimes you've got your mind is thinking and thinking and thinking, and you can't even settle yourself down to go to sleep and get a good night's sleep, right? So what about diffusing a little bit of Melissa? Or what about lavender? Now everybody knows that lavender is wonderful to diffuse at nighttime. But a lot of people don't know that you can literally just take a bottle of lavender and drop a drop on your pillow. You can put some in a little spray bottle, put a little bit of water in it, and you can spray down your sheets. And it's a beautiful, beautiful smell. And then there's also peace. Now, one of my daughters, she says she absolutely loves peace, the smell of it. So it's got a blend of vetiver and lavender and ylang ylang, frankincense, clary sage, an unbelievably wonderfully smelling combination, all of those. So like vetiver, we're going to talk about vetiver. Vetiver is actually, it's a root from a grass that's grown in Haiti. And vetiver is so efficient and so effective at helping to induce sleep. So if you have insomnia, ask me more about vetiver, and I can send you some more information about vetiver, or you can just Google doTERRA vetiver, and it's going to give you a lot of information. So vetiver is a wonderful, and you pair it with lavender, and it's like, boy, you've got a sleep potion that, you know, you wouldn't believe. So, and then there's balance, there's past tense. These are some of the calming blends and some of the calming oils. Oh, I remember what I was going to say. If you have your phone handy, you're going to be wanting to take some screenshots. So get it ready, because some of the following slides are going to be ones that you might want to take a screenshot of. But if you so happen to, you know, to miss it, that's fine. Just go to YouTube, and this whole class will be on YouTube for you within the next couple hours after class anyway. Alrighty, so to apply essential oils for emotional benefits. Okay, so there's many ways that essential oils can be used for this way. Diffusion, of course, is my very first choice. And there's a reason why. Is because if you want to incorporate or introduce an oil into your body in the fastest way possible, it's going to be through your nose. So it's going to be diffusing, okay? So the olfaction system in our body is not only so efficient, but it is extremely effective. Now, maybe we don't have a, you know, nose like a dog does, you know, I mean, they can smell anything, you know, right? Maybe we can't smell quite as well as that, but the sense of smell is perhaps one of the 5 senses that is the most sensitive. Now, we talk about our sense of touch, very sensitive. You can literally touch something and know where it's located on your finger. Our senses of touch are just so sensitive. But your sense of smell because of where it is linked into your body. It's directly linked into your limbic system in your brain. And what that does is it produces very fast change. And so we can talk more about that. I actually have some videos on YouTube that also talk. Matter of fact, I have an entire class that I devoted to olfaction, or the sense of smell. So some of the best ways that you can get these oils into your body is, and to be effective in your body, you can massage the oil on the base of your skull. You have got so many blood vessels that are in your face and in your skull, and it will diffuse into the skin and into your blood supply. It is very effective. Not the fastest way, but it's very effective. You can rub the oil on the inside of your elbow. You can use it, of course, like I said, in a diffuser. You can put some oil in the palms of your hands and inhale. That's going to be one of the fastest ways to get it. You can put it on your wrists. You can put a drop of oil sublingually underneath your tongue. Very fast and effective way to get the oil into your systemic blood system very quick. As a matter of fact, that would be the quickest way outside of an IV to introduce an oil into your blood system. All right, if you would like, you can take a picture of this slide. I absolutely love diffuser blends. And these are some unbelievably motivational diffuser blends. Notice that many of them have frankincense. Frankincense it's literally the king of the oils. It can uplift and it can relax. And how that happens and how that works is a chemistry question that I'm not very qualified at answering. But there are some people who are very good with chemistry. So, but this, you know, these diffuser blends are wonderful to give that motivation, just to get going, maybe in the morning, maybe in the middle of the day. Now this I thought was really neat. Who's getting the flu shot this year? Maybe not too many people, huh? Well, guess what? I got a flu shot for you. How about mixing 10 drops of oregano and 14 drops of melaleuca, 14 drops of On Guard, and 18 drops of lemon? Put it in a 10 ml roll-on bottle. If you don't have one, let me know and I'll send you one. Put a little bit of fractionated coconut oil and rub it on the soles of your feet. Do it every day or a couple times a day. Another thing that you could do is diffuse these oils into the air, and it will come into your body and have wonderful effects. So you want to stay healthy, you want to stay well. Here are some great oils, not to mention the fact that they smell wonderful. Here's another screenshot picture, and I do have some other cleaning slides as well. I know I've been introducing natural cleaning into my home a lot more. Matter of fact, I just mopped Michelle's floors and she made up this cleaner that smelled unbelievably wonderful. So I made her show me how she did it. She put some Purify, some On Guard, some grapefruit, some lemon, and I think she might have put some wild orange in there, and boy, did it smell good. Put a little bit of white vinegar and fill the rest of the bottle up with water, and you have a beautiful, beautifully smelling cleanser. You don't have to be afraid to smell. You know, sometimes we clean with stuff and we're smelling it. It's like, oh my goodness, I got to get out of the bathroom, you know, because it's irritating our nose. And this doesn't irritate. It's all natural. All right. You got mold and mildew you want to get rid of? Look at that recipe right there. How about laundry detergent? Or how about just a little bit of Purify in with your rinsing wash? And I've got another slide that's going to talk about that. Now, Doterra has actually made it very easy to have a cleaning solution that you could just mix up with a little bit of water. It's highly concentrated. So I bought a bottle, this particular, exactly, it looks just like this. I bought it months ago, and I still have at least half of the bottle, if not more, right? And so it lasts a long time because it's highly concentrated. So there's a lot of water and a little bit of the cleaner. But look at some of these different recipes here: multi-purpose cleaner, bathroom cleaner, dish soap, makeup brush cleaner, cleaning wipes, garbage disposal tablets, from one bottle of cleaner. And this cleaner is so natural and smells so good. You just gotta try it. Alrighty, oops, sorry about that. Alrighty, wanted to talk about Purify. This was what I was saying just a minute ago. So Purify. If you have not smelled this oil, you are missing out on life. Maybe I shouldn't say it like that, but if you haven't smelled this oil, you want to smell it. This oil smells unbelievably wonderful. So everybody has a cotton ball, right? You take a cotton ball and you put a few drops of Purify and just put it in the air vent in your car, you know, where the AC or the heat blows through, and just set it right in there. You know, you kind of tuck it in there, and as the AC or as the heat, depending on where you are, where I am right now, if I turn my screen right in front of me, the backyard is just all filled with snow, right? So right now we're definitely in the heat. But when I talk to folks back home in Georgia, you know, it's warm, you know, they're outside playing and at the park. And so they're probably doing their AC, but it doesn't matter whether it's heat or whether it's AC, as long as the air is coming through that car vent, you're going to be getting the wonderful smell of Purify. And not only does it smell wonderful, it actually does, as its name says, it purifies the air. And who doesn't need air to be purified, especially at this particular time, the year of 2020, here in America, or anywhere we would be. The year of 2020 will go down in the history books as probably one of the most craziest years that any of us have ever experienced. Anyway, bug bites. You can use it for bug bites. You put it on your bug bite. I was just telling you, a few drops in the rinse cycle to help eliminate odor. A few drops in a small spray bottle. Wipe down your countertops. You can put it in your shoes, you know, just put a couple drops on a cloth or even on a cotton ball and just tuck it in your shoes to clear away the odor. Carpet cleaner, toilet pods, fridge deodorizers, even removing sticker residue. I mean, my goodness, the uses of one bottle of oil are just endless. All righty, this is, I believe this was one of the first slides of this whole presentation, was this one right here. And I absolutely love it because at nighttime, all of these oils are oils that are going to be in my nighttime diffuser blends. Cedarwood, marjoram smells wonderful. Sandalwood, patchouli, the hippie oil. Bergamot, absolutely love bergamot. It's from my native country of Italy, and it grows there, and it needs to be grown in that environment for it to be as effective as it is. Got to be careful with bergamot because it does give some photosensitivity toward the sun. So if you would put it on your skin and then go out in the sun, you might burn a lot quicker than you would otherwise. So you got to be careful with bergamot, as well as lemon and wild orange, some of the citrusy fruits, grapefruit, because it does cause photosensitivity. But here again is that vetiver that I spoke of, frankincense, and lavender. These are the best essential oils that would promote sleep. All right, let's move on to the next slide here, and I don't know what's happening, but there we go. Okay, so I want to talk just a little bit of about a kid's collection, all right? Or this could also be used for folks who have maybe more of a sensitivity toward the oils. I actually gave this collection to my granddaughter last year for her birthday, and she loved it. It actually comes with little clips. They can clip it onto their backpack and bring them to school, or, you know, you can clip them, you know, onto your keychain or whatever. It's a real fun collection, but they smell wonderful. And here is some of the details of this collection. You've got the Rescuer blend, and that would be, you know, if there's injury or, you know, muscle pain or, you know, just pain. Steady blend. you know, that helps with nervousness or anxiety. And, you know, it's just kind of like a calming blend. There's a brave blend, which again is it's a wonderful smelling blend, but it's very, very good for many conditions, many situations, maybe times where, you know, maybe a child needs some courage or confidence. And then there's the stronger blend. You could put that on the bottom of the feet. And that would just be for protection from, you know, some of the environmental threats. Calmer blend, that's a very, very good one to just calm your mind. Very good for, you know, putting kids to sleep. I know I gave I gave two of them to two of my grandchildren at the start of the school year, because one of them in particular has a hard time sleeping at night. And so he's doing great. I asked him not too long ago, how are you doing? He says, I'm doing better with sleeping, Grandma. So it's nice to know that there are some different natural solutions that we can use to help us and as well as those that we love. And what about the thinker blend? Now this is something that's very, very important, because a lot of times when we're trying to work, sometimes we could be easily distracted. And I am probably the biggest one. I mean, a fly could fly in front of me and completely take me off task, you know? So when you want to stay focused, thinker blend. So anyway, I wanted to talk just a little bit about rose essential oil. And I'm sorry that my daughter can't be on this call at the time, but she wanted to hear more about rose essential oil. So I figure I'm going to leave all this in, just even though my daughter who wanted to hear about this cannot be on the call, because other people would like to hear about this as well. Imagine 100 roses, 100 rose blooms. This is the Bulgarian rose, okay, grown in Bulgaria. 100 of those blooms to make 1 bottle of rose oil. That's a lot of roses. And everybody understands roses are one of the more expensive flower. And we literally have acres and acres and acres of fields of roses that are grown there in Bulgaria. And to actually see, we put a video on last night just to kind of see them harvesting the roses. And boy, I'll tell you what, they were some of the happiest people that I've ever seen. Imagine all day long, you're just smelling roses, right? I mean, what better job would there be than that, right? Just smelling roses all day long. And this is not just any old rose that you might find at Kroger or at Publix or at ShopRite or wherever you might be from. These roses are some of the most fragrant roses ever. And look at some of the benefits. Hormone balancing for both men and women, boosting immunity, feeling and receiving more love and security. How about beautifying your skin? Very good for acne scars. Neurological support, fertility. A lot of women deal with that. They want to have babies. And well, here's an oil that maybe we can learn a little bit about. It also fights depression. It purifies the blood. It controls high fever, fades acne scars, prevents internal bacterial infections, not to mention that it just smells wonderful. And here's a few diffuser recipes that I just cannot wait to try myself. I have not tried either of these two, but I cannot wait to try them. Now, this month, there's 15% off of the Rose Touch. So you might want to check that out. Might be a very good way to, you know, to get this oil into your life, maybe for the very first time. All right. I am getting close to the end of my class, but I did want to talk about the top 10 essential oils. These are the oils that everybody should have in their home. Okay, so you've got oregano, which is good for cooking. It's an antioxidant, but it's also immune support. You've got melaleuca or tea tree, which is very good for skin, very good for nails, very good for hair. But again, it's very good for immune support. You've got On Guard, which is very good for cleansing, for disinfection, but it's also very good for immune support. Frankincense, same thing, great for immune support and very good for cleansing and for every body system that you possess. It's good for heart health. It's good for lung health. It's good for skin health. It's good for kidney health. It's good for antioxidant support. frankincense is very, very aptly stated as the king of the oils. Lemon, detoxification. It should be in everybody's water, especially in the morning, which reminds me to take a sip of my water. And we've got lavender. Stress, like we were talking about, very, very good for sleep. Actually very good for skin issues. You have a burn, you have a rash, you have a cut. Frankincense, lavender is very, very good. But look at it, look at the added benefit. Seasonal threats. Lemon, lavender, and peppermint are literally an allergy pill, and it's a wonderfully smelling oil. You take a drop of each one under your tongue every single day, and it's very, very good for those who suffer with allergies. Peppermint, very good for energy. I always tell people, if you're going to be traveling long distance, take a bottle of peppermint, take some wild orange along with you. And whenever you feel drowsy, you just open up those bottles and you inhale deeply. And what it does is it wakes up your mind. It would also be a very good one to diffuse in the car as well. Then there's Breathe, which is all things respiratory. When I feel like I'm getting a cold or something, I slather it on my neck. I put it in my diffuser. Breathe is very, very good for any kind of respiratory issue. Some people actually, they've got adapters for their CPAP, and they put the Breathe in that as well. And it helps you to sleep very well. If you have a baby that's fussy and maybe got a stuffy nose, diffuse it in their room. I had my grandson a couple weeks ago, and he was just sniffling and snorting, and he was having a hard time falling asleep because his nose was stuffy. So I got a diffuser, put it right there at his bedside, and I was actually very surprised at how quickly it worked. I didn't think it was going to work that quickly. And so then the next day I made a little Breathe stick for him, and he's 3, so he's old enough to to be able to have this. And I just put a few drops and I closed it all up. It had a little wick inside, and he literally carried it in his pocket, and he pulled it out and he would breathe it in, and he loved it. Actually, I'm sorry, he's 4, so he was old enough for it. Digest Zen, anything stomach related, it is wonderful. I have gotten so many good reviews on this one particular oil because boy, does it work good. So all things digestive. And then of course there's the Deep Blue for anybody who's got muscle or joint pain. Very good for massaging. I like the Deep Blue because if I feel a headache coming on, I just rub it on the back of my neck, and it relieves the tension oftentimes that we can carry in our neck. Alrighty, and here are some diffuser blends. A good amount of those that are on this Zoom call have this particular kit. This is the Healthy Start Kit. It is the top 10 oils. These are the foundation oils. So this particular kit is a very great kit, but these are some diffuser blends that are that go in conjunction with that kit. Okay, so seasonal cleansing, spa at bedtime, super clean air, bright energy, focus, sleep, purify, afternoon calm. Okay, so this is a kit that you can actually buy. It comes with the diffuser and 10 of the foundation oils. It's kind of like a little starter kit, to really get you immersed in the oils and to fall in love with the oils. This is a kit that I actually purchased. However, there is a better kit only because of the fact that it gives better, more of a quantity. And so this is that. It's called Healthy Start Kit, but then there's also this kit. It's called the Healthy Essentials Kit. And it also gives you some of the foundation oils, but it also gives you oils that are not as well known, such as the adaptive. If anybody has somebody maybe dealing with autism or ADHD or anxiety or those types of things, the adaptive is a great oil to, to help with that, especially to diffuse it. But there's also, there's soft gels that can be taken internally. There's a roll-on with adaptive that you can put actually on your skin. But then there's also copaiba oil, which is an oil that's harvested in Brazil. And it's a wonderful oil. As a matter of fact, my daughter-in-law, who is from Brazil, she told me that when folks down there have babies, that they take this oil and they literally just put it all over the baby. I thought that was really interesting. You know, just that they would do that. But it's, you know, and it's, like I say, it's harvested and grown in Brazil. And then with this particular kit, also there's the oil of balance. And literally, as its name states, it does provide balance. It's got some very, very good neurological oils in there. And it is a wonderful oil, wonderfully smelling, and it's incredibly effective. And so with that, I am going to go ahead and stop my sharing, and I am going to unmute, if I can find, oh, there you are, Xena. Okay, Xena, I'm going to ask you to unmute. I'm clicking it now, so you could just unmute yourself.
Okay.
The floor, Xena.
Okay, thanks, Barbara. Okay, I just wanted to share a few things with the personal experience I've had with using essential oils. I started using, well, some particular essential oils that I'm using, and also the Lifelong Vitality Pack. I started using our oils in March of this year, 2020, like Barbara said, many things going on. My goal was to stop taking the blood pressure medicine that I was on and to use a more natural solution for my health. And I started using the Long Vitality Pack about 7 weeks ago. And I've had amazing results. I had a doctor's appointment last Friday, and this is some of the things I really wanted to share, with fasting labs. And the doctor, when I walked in, she said, I have some very good news for you. And I was excited. Anything with my health to be better, I was very excited. My A1C levels were down from 6 point to 5 point. My blood pressure was down, and it was very good. And I told the doctor that I was no longer using my blood pressure medicines because that was the goal, and my blood pressure has been stable for some weeks. And we also talked about a procedure I had for my varicose veins, and this was something that was very amazing as well. A few years back, I had a procedure called sclerotherapy, and it helps, but it was a very painful procedure. But what they do, they inject your veins with a solution, and it would take about 3 weeks to get the clarity of the fading of the veins. And that had happened. So I had mentioned that, you know, my veins did come back, which they did say eventually they may come back. And so recently, about 4 weeks ago, these are the oils that I use. I used the Cypress and the Siberian fir, and I actually rubbed those oils on my leg where the varicose veins were, and an amazingly result. In about 15 or less minutes, the veins had started to fade, and I was so excited. So I shared that with my doctor, and also I was using a drop of frankincense under my tongue and ylang ylang, and I had been using this for a while as well, twice a day. And I showed my legs, you know, that she can examine them. And she was amazed. She took out her pen and she started writing notes. She said, okay, what were you on? And you were on this and you're on that. And I was just sharing all the things that I was using. And she said she was very pleased with the results. She was really surprised. And she started taking notes to write down all those things because she wanted to share with her new patients, her other patients, you know, there's a natural alternative that you could take, that you can have to get, you know, results and different things. So she said, keep up the good work. You're doing a really great job. And she was very pleased with those results. And I've also changed my eating habits, and I'm exercising as well for my health. But I said all that to say I'm very pleased with my new health journey and the results that I'm getting. And I'm sold on Doterra. So those are just a few thoughts.
That is awesome, Xena. That is really, really, matter of fact, and I think I told you this when we talked last week, I definitely want to make sure that I get that recipe blend. I know there's Cypress in there, right?
Yes.
The
yes,
main ingredient? Yeah. Okay.
That was the main one.
I know that there's Cypress, but I've seen that there's a variation, which of course we know with the oils, you can use all different kinds, right?
Mm-hmm.
Main ingredient of Cypress is very important for any kind of a vein issue. So yeah, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
Awesome. I'm so happy to hear all that.
Thanks.
Is there anybody else that would like to share something or who has a question? We will not go into specific or personal questions because of HIPAA, and those things can be discussed, later on, which is fine, but we'll just do that one-on-one. But if we have general questions, we can ask those types of questions, or if anybody has anything else that they would like to share, you can raise your hand or go ahead and unmute yourself. All right, I don't see anybody's hands up.
Okay, hey, Barbara.
Oh, Sharon, go right ahead, Sharon, I'm sorry.
Okay, I just had a question. What is a good oil or a combination of oils for eczema? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Okay, so eczema, oftentimes it's more than just an external problem, it's also an internal problem, right? You probably notice anybody who suffers with eczema gets eczema in their joints. It's usually in a joint area, whether it's in your shoulder area, your elbows, the backs of your knees. Oftentimes that's where eczema would come from. So you definitely want to do a detox. Very, very important. And that would be, great, lemon, grapefruit, Slim and Sassy is very good for that. But then on the outer side, what you want to do is you want to use those oils such as lavender, tea tree, but you're going to want to make sure you dilute that tea tree. It could be actually painful if the eczema is real raw. So those are some oils that you can use. I would make up a little roller bottle, of lavender and tea tree with some FCO, and have them use that on their on the joint areas several times a day, but making sure that they're doing a detox to get things going from within. Now, if there's anybody on this call, I know Frances, you probably have some knowledge on this or some information. If you would like to unmute yourself and add to what I just said.
Those are the exact same things that we're doing. It's, someone in my family member that deals with allergy, asthma, and eczema that kind of go together a lot of times. And like Barbara said, doing something internally. Part of it, one of the suggestions that I gave to it's to that family member was, watching what they eat, because it could be triggered by certain foods that they're eating, processed foods and stuff like that. And then, like Barbara said, just doing more of, the detoxing things with the lemon, the Xena is a detoxer that, would take it in. We use little, they look like shot glasses. They're little measuring cups. They're like 2 tablespoon size measuring cups, and just put a couple drops of the Xena in some water, as a detoxer. Yeah, those are the exact same things that Barbara just said. And then, of course, externally, the lavender and melaleuca in a roll bottle of fractionated coconut oil is what we've also been using here.
The one thing that I like is, when you start to learn about, which oils are good for skin, which oils are good for maybe like kidney health. And it is really, it's neat to actually hear, how that, we kind of have the same go-to oils, and there could be other ones as well. Frankincense would be great. Helichrysum is a wonderful, it's a repair and a regeneration type of oil. As a matter of fact, helichrysum is actually very good even for broken bones. It's incredible, the things that have been learned from that particular oil. So anyway, and helichrysum is actually in the deep blue blend as well, but I wouldn't use deep blue though for eczema. I'm just saying it's in that blend for a reason. I remember, as a matter of fact, when I had broken my shoulder, it's actually coming up on 2 years, and 2 years ago, I'd broken my shoulder, and when it was healed up enough and I had to, you had to go to physical therapy to, get things moving properly again. And they had these free samples of, it's called BioFreeze. I'm sure everybody that's on this call has heard of BioFreeze. It's a very, very popular muscle rub. And I grabbed a couple packets because it said that they were free. And what I wanted to do was I wanted to compare them to the Deep Blue. Deep Blue won, hands down. It was not even like, can't really, no. Deep Blue won, hands down. Because you break a bone and you're going to be having some pain, for some time, right? Especially as we're, a little older, it doesn't just go away, right away. And so rubbing that Deep Blue on that broken shoulder, like I say, it has helichrysum in it, and it worked. BioFreeze, I'm not going to say that it did not do anything, but in comparison to the Deep Blue, and that was the whole reason why I got it, was I wanted to do a side-by-side comparison. I was surprised. I mean, I shouldn't have been surprised, but I was surprised that the Deep Blue worked so much better. So anyway, that's kind of a little side note, but anyway, anything else? Anybody else have anything that they want to share or a question to ask? All right. Looks like everybody wants to get on with the little diffuser blend giveaway. Somebody just unmuted themselves. I think it was you, Stephanie, or Stacy. Did you have something that you wanted to share or a question?
No, yes, I'm sorry. I have a question. Yes. What did Miss Xena, what kind of oil she said she was using for her veins on her legs or something like that? What was that she said?
Go ahead, Xena. Unmute yourself, Xena.
It was Cypress and Siberian fir. Those are the two that I used. And I also put a drop of frankincense and ylang ylang under my tongue twice a day as well.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, that ylang ylang is, oh my goodness, that's just unbelievable oil. You can actually put ylang ylang on your face as well, and yes, wonderful, wonderful smelling oil. That is a fact. All righty. Anybody else? Any other questions? Any other comments before we do the giveaway?
Barbara, I have a question for you.
Go right ahead.
Okay, you were talking about the Deep Blue. Would that also work for sciatic nerve injury or sciatic nerve pain?
That's a really good question. I don't want to be so quick to just say. Is there anybody on this call that has something that they can say about that? My first thought would be yes, but I know that with nerve pain, it is a little different. So Francis, Sharon, do you guys have anything that you can say on nerve pain?
No, I'm sorry. I don't know anything about that at all.
Barbara, I kind of stepped away for a second. What was the question?
Deep Blue, does it work for sciatic or nerve pain?
Oh, it does. Because I deal with that. The way that my sciatic issues work is that I can kind of tell when it's about to happen. I kind of start to feel a bit of tightness. It doesn't just most of the times it doesn't just happen like that. It kind of it gradually gets to the point where I say my back goes out. I can't stand straight. I can't get out of the bed right or whatever. So if I'm mindful, I'm paying attention to what's going on with my body, treating it with the Deep Blue, giving myself after a hot shower, actually doing the Deep Blue. And one of the things that I learned from Kim Garlock was, and you mentioned it last week, was the layering of the oils, the Deep Blue and the first the lemongrass and then the Deep Blue, but
Yes.
treating it while it's still treatable, where it hasn't gone out yet, because once it goes out, once it's to that point where I can't get out of the bed. I literally roll out of the bed. I have to roll out of bed like when I was 10 months pregnant, when it goes out. But if I can deal with it before it gets to that point, then I'm able to kind of stay on top of it. So lemongrass and deep blue will help with the pain and hopefully keep it from actually going to the point where you're down, or you're suffering like immensely.
Okay, that was great. And Francis, while you were talking, I just Googled deep blue for nerve pain, and it says deep blue rub offers support for nerve pain in the lower back and legs, which sciatic pain goes down the legs as well. It says rub on affected areas to help to soothe. All right, so so there is some information out there. Google literally, you can find so much information, on these different issues and topics. And so, a lot of times what I'll do is I'll Google my question and maybe put Doterra at the end, so you can get actually like Doterra, science posts or blogs, or they do a lot of different studies with Doterra. So it kind of gives you some specific information, which is really good. So, but yeah, that's a really good question, actually.
Okay, Barbara, I have a question just to go.
We're learning together. Go ahead, Sharon.
Okay, so is the lemongrass and the deep blue rub, or the deep blue oil, or either?
Well, the deep blue rub, actually, it's able to penetrate. It's able to reach more of an area. Now, the deep blue oil is fine too. Most people that I talk to, they prefer the rub over just the oil.
Okay.
So, there are some people that really do like the oil, which the blend has the same things, but it's, Francis, do you have anything more on that rub that you could? Nothing? Okay, that's fine. And I can actually find some more information on that. But as far as the rub, see what happens with the oil is, you put a few drops in your hand and it doesn't go nearly as far as the rub does, right?
Oh.
The rub covers much more of a surface area. Go ahead, Francis.
I'm sorry. I had myself on mute. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Okay. I was saying that I carry the actual rub with me everywhere. I've shared that I have this pouch that I have in my extra bag that goes to work, that goes to class, that everywhere. And I keep the rub with me. But in my purse, I actually have the roll-up bottle of the deep blue. So if I'm in a place where I can't get to, go to a restroom to get the rub and rub it on my back, or like sometimes my knee, I have runner's knee. And so one of my knees will just start aching really bad. I can take the roller bottle of the deep blue and just roll it on my knee real quick, and just kind of, it's a small area. But when it's a bigger area like my back, my, coming down to my hip and my upper leg area, like when the sciatic nerve is acting up, I prefer the lotion or the cream, the rub for that area. I prefer, as you said, I could just spread it more. I can rub it in more. It just applies differently. But I assume that it's the exact same thing. It's just application